Okay, now for my rustler. I'm going to be talking about how to set up your rustler to have better handling box stock. Like basically out of the box and trying to get better setup. And of course, lowering your ride heights. What this does, whenever you lower your ride height, it does less body roll and also it stiffens up the suspension. Because whenever you have long travel, it kind of makes it really soft. So of course, always lower it. And also, if you have some Proline parts, maybe you could adjust your camera length so you could have kind of like a normal stance instead of having S Traxxas always has a lot of camber. I never liked that. So make your camera as straight as possible, both front and rear. BS Traxxas is always like this. Never liked it. It gives it a push and turn to it won't necessarily is whenever you have tires fighting, it just wants to fight and turn. So always make your camera go straight. And important shocks, make your I just have 30 weight oil, but the issue with that is see that it's kind of a little too loose. So I mean, for some reason, it feels like it's more than 30 weight oil out of the box, but when you change it with the Traxxas 30 weight oil, I don't know. It feels like Traxxas gave you thicker oil than they say they give you. I don't know, from out of the box. And also what was oh yeah, put like 40 or 45 weight on the front, so it'll kind of ride smooth. But do not put that same white oil on the rear. You actually need to put a softer one because when you ever go in turns, your front does this, not the rear. See, the rear is kind of a little harder to do it. So put in at least 35 weight oil. I think that will be perfectly fine. And also stiffen up your suspension by using Integy springs or get Losi springs on here or just stiffen up just a little bit. Don't do too much because whenever you stiffen it too much, you don't want it to go. You want it to have some down travel. Kind of like it goes like this a little bit. So you want to have some instead of having it stick. If you have that stick that's way too stiff. And also for the rear, whenever you go through bumps, it will do this. So you want to have some softness in there. For hand to have improve also handling, what you do is take that camera link and you raise it up to that top hole. I actually had a little bit tough time, but it still moves freely a little bit. But that reduces the roll center. I completely don't understand roll center, but I know what it does. I mean, it was sold here instead of having it like this, it's more like this in turns. I tested it and it's so awesome. Raising that camera link up to that top hole, it helps a lot. I swear it helps a lot. Um Other adjustments, of course, if you have the Pro line adjustments, you can adjust your camera lengths. Of course, just make it where the camera is straight. But if you have it straight, but sometimes you get that a little bit of a positive camera, a little bit, maybe you could put a little bit of negative camera in there. Anything else in handling? Um, That's really it for handling characteristics for the rustler. Oh, you have Proline shock towers. If you put it out more, it'll stiffen up your suspension, so it will have less body roll and whatever. So as you move it out more, you see the shock's kind of like here. See how the shock is kind of like sideways? You should move it out more, it'll be more direct to the A arm, and it'll give it a better It'll give him more stiffness to the shock, and it'll have more direct in turn. So instead of having it like this, it's kind of more a little bit like this, but not too much. And also, when you try to balance your shocks, don't put like, oh, I want to stiffen it all the way, and then leave this front shock soft. Well, it's kind of bad in turns because I don't know. You kind of want it to be even, but make sure you stiffen this up pretty well. And sometimes in the rear, yeah, stiffen up the rear also. Just kind of make it where it's balanced so it doesn't sag in the rear or it doesn't lean in the front on turns. So just kind of balance it. So that's it, guys. Chevy RC. Peace.